the British royal family announced on Thursday, the 8th of September 2022, that Queen Elizabeth II had passed away at the age of 96. The news has shocked the country, and many fans of the royal family and famous people have expressed their sorrow on social media. We express our sincere condolences to the royal family and are extremely saddened by Her Majesty's passing. From 1952 to 2022, Queen Elizabeth II ruled for 70 years. Given that she had just marked her 70th year as monarch, Queen Elizabeth II was the oldest and longest reigning monarch in British history. The Queen had lived most of her life in public and was well known for her devotion to and feeling of duty to her country. However, there are still a lot of lesser-known facts about the Queen you may never know. I upload new videos every week, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. So, in this video, we will discuss the top 10 interesting facts about late Queen Elizabeth II. Let's jump into the video without wasting any time. Number 10. In a London townhouse, she was born. On April 21, 1926, the future Queen Elizabeth II was born. She was the eldest grandchild of King George V and the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York. The future King George VI and Queen Elizabeth I Stone, the Queen Mother. Yet she was not born in a palace. Instead, she was born in a townhouse that belonged to her Scottish maternal grandparents, the Earl and Countess of Strathmore, at 17 Bruton Street in the Mayfair neighbourhood of London. In 1937, the home was destroyed. On that location, there is currently an office building and a Chinese restaurant. Number 9. She once partied covertly in the streets of London with her sister. Before Elizabeth and Margaret took part in the enormous celebrations honoring the conclusion of World War II on May 8, 1945, they got their parents' permission. The event, according to the Queen, is among her most prized memories. She said, "I remember groups of unidentifiable people going down Whitehall while holding hands and being carried along by waves of excitement and relief." This was in 1985, according to a royal family Instagram post. Even a movie titled Elizabeth and Margaret's Adventure pictured their misadventure as an official night out. Number 8. She was the monarch who traveled the most in history. When it comes to the number of nations that one monarch has visited, Queen Elizabeth II holds the record. On 6 continents, she traveled to more than 120 nations. Canada was her most frequented destination after the UK. Number 7. She paid taxes. Despite being the Queen, she had at least begun paying taxes since that year. When Windsor Castle, the Queen's weekend residence, was entirely damaged by fire in 1992. The public revolted at having to pay for millions of pounds worth of repairs. She took the choice to first allow visitors inside her home at Buckingham Palace in order to raise more money through admission charges. And she voluntarily decided to pay tax on her own income to fund 70% of the cost of restoration work. Number 6. She established Canada's Parliament as the country's first monarch. On October 14, 1957, Queen Elizabeth II became the first head of state to personally open a session of the Canadian Parliament. She read the speech from the throne in place of the Governor-General, who represented her in Canada. In her 1957 Christmas broadcast, the Queen reflected on the momentous occasion, saying, "Last October, I opened the new Canadian Parliament, and as you know, this was the first time that any royal had done so in Ottawa. I was again struck by the fervor and patriotism of my fellow Canadians." Number 5. She has enjoyed the longest reign in the histories of the Commonwealth and the United Kingdom. On September 9, 2015, Elizabeth II surpassed the approximately 64-year reign of her great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria to claim the title of monarch with the longest reign in British and Commonwealth history. Elizabeth and Victoria both decided to commemorate the event with a private lunch at Scotland's Balmoral Castle with their visiting grandchildren, despite having lived more than a century apart. Number 4. She was in charge of the 54-nation Commonwealth. The first Commonwealth head to be properly styled was King George VI, the late Queen's father. The Queen paid particular attention to her responsibility as head of the Commonwealth throughout her reign. She made extensive trips across the Commonwealth and went to almost every meeting of the heads of government. The Commonwealth currently consists of 54 distinct nations, including 14 Commonwealth realms like Canada, where the Queen served as head of state. The royal family's ties to the Commonwealth will remain strong during the succeeding reign. At the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth's leaders determined that Prince Charles, the Queen's eldest son and heir, would succeed her as the organization's leader. Number 3. She received more than 2,500 wedding presents when she married Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, in 1947. To commemorate Princess Elizabeth's engagement to Prince Philip Mountbatten, Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, on July 9, 1947. Wedding guests and members of the public brought gifts. As Canada's official wedding gifts, William Lyon Mackenzie King, the country's first prime minister, sent a mink coat and some vintage cutlery. People from all over the world sent canned food, which was provided to people in need, and nylon stockings. Because the United Kingdom still had food and clothing rationing after the Second World War. Elizabeth and Philip exchanged vows at Westminster Abbey in London on November 20, 1947. The Queen and Prince Philip were married for 73 years before Philip passed away on April 9, 2021. They have 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. Number 2. The Queen didn't need a license to drive. In contrast to the rest of us who have to pass a test before we are legally allowed to drive a car. Her Majesty did not follow this norm. The King or Queen is the only person in the UK immune from needing a driver's license to operate a vehicle on public roads. She was also excluded from owning either document because they were both issued in the Queen's name, which is a privilege only accorded to the sovereign. The Queen didn't have a passport either. Number 1. The monarch cleaned her own dishes. You might be surprised to learn that Her Majesty frequently did her own dishwashing considering how frequently she was associated with the crown jewels. Harry Mount, a royal specialist and novelist, recalled what a former royal courtier had said to him in an interview with The Telegraph. I once went to a lunch for shooting, and after lunch, I overheard someone remark, "I'll do the washing up." And when I turned around, the Queen was there in her yellow dishwashing gloves ready to clean the dishes. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to receive notifications for future videos. This concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You have sole access to the comments area. Please share your ideas for the upcoming videos. I appreciate your interest and hope to see you in the next video.